Hello everybody out there, and welcome to another episode here of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. Guys, this is my last episode as a 30-year-old human being. My birthday is going to be here on Sunday, so I'm just really excited to revolve around the sun another year and just reflecting back. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in the show, but I'm just so happy to be here, man, and I feel like I've just come such a long way. So to be able to, continuously do the things that I like to do, be able to do them, especially coming here on this Talk That Talk show and talking to you each and every week, I feel like the most blessed person in the world and feeling like, I'm living such a full life, man. And, like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys following, whether it's Ishabad Crane on our Instagram Live, Robert Brantley Jr. on our Facebook Live, Tyree Holmes on our Facebook Live. Ish said, wait, your birthday this Sunday? I'm off. Ooh, guess you're gonna have to come by the house. Ish, mom is always cooking some the plate for this weekend. If you're coming to the party, whether it be on Saturday, with everybody, and then Sunday, just at my house with the friends and family, you're gonna have a myriad. For those people that don't know what that word is, Google that. You'll have a myriad of options to come over here and enjoy yourself. But, before I get into the show a little bit, I definitely 100% wanted to talk about some of the hat drops that have happened over these past couple days. And guys, you got to prepare yourselves, man, if you're in the hat world, because there's some absolute fire, some heat that Hat Club just dropped. I know they're dropping something also this weekend. But, shout out to my friend over at MyFitteds. Was able to get my hands on some of the guitar pack that's going to be dropping this weekend. Heavy panic alert for those people trying to get those hats over at MyFitteds. But, I promised I wouldn't show all of them, but I'm going to show for you guys some of the hats that will be dropping this weekend over at MyFitteds. So, first and foremost, like I said, the basis behind this pack was, I believe that the hats were designed based off of, the guitars that certain musicians had used, for their respective bands. And I think that was such a dope idea, because what you saw what Hat Club did was they did that kind of with like album covers. So they matched some of their hats with my favorite one, which was the Tribe Called Quest from the Mets pack of the Aux pack. But here we seen that MyFitteds took a different route with that. And when I tell you guys they came out with some fire, just wait till I show you what they got here. So first and foremost, guys, look at this maroon Detroit Tigers. I know we saw the Hat Club had dropped, something like the Beanpot pack that was kind of similar to like the Boston College colors. But you see how different this one is here. We got the 1984 World Series patch, but I think what makes this all come together is the classic green undervisor, guys. I mean, when you're talking about good greens, this is definitely one that you're going to want to look after, especially for the Detroit Tigers. We've seen a lot of coked out Tigers as far as, that design, and it's getting straight, played out. So to see them go back to the classic Detroit Tigers logo, I think the last time they did this was with the initial D, and then also with the Magic Treehouse pack. So, that's definitely one you have to have here on the radar. But then when you see this Minnesota Twins, guys, oh my gosh. I think this was actually modeled after a microbrewery in Minnesota, and that's another thing as to why, like I said, I like MyFitteds in the direction that they chose to go with these packs, because we saw with Hat Club, they chose the more traditional domestic beers like Coors Light and Miller Lite to kind of model the hats off of. But here we saw with MyFitteds, they decided to go with a microbrewery from Minnesota. And I think that just gives to more detail and gives them more personality and, showing light to the smaller corporations. And this one also is a good green. You got your green undervisor here, white sweatband inside with the guts, and then also stitched in Batterman. This is one that I think a lot of people are sleeping on because of the microbrewery pack, and you might not know what beer this pertains to. But I'm not going to tell you. I want you to do your research. Find out what the beer is for this one, because, like I said, the whole point of, having these different types of styles and having the like I said, just the categories that, they've tried to model and style these hats off of. It's also for awareness as well, too. And, if you can shed some light to some of these artists that's being, put on with these hats, and then also the microbreweries, you've done yourself a good deal. And this one right here is another straight heater, guys. Here we got the Cleveland Indians with the Jacobs Field, I think this is 10th anniversary patch. And guys, the patchwork on this is insane, bro. Insane. And I think the one thing I didn't show you what the undervisor is just yet on this hat, but I think that's the best part of this one, because did you think that it would be a red undervisor? Oh man, this one, I promise you, when this drops on tomorrow at MyFitteds, whether it's in White Plains location or Patterson location, this is going to sell out 100%. 100%. So, like I said, I'm just so happy I was able to get my hands on this, because this is absolutely fire, especially with the white guts. That's when it's like, all right, I got myself a straight banger here. But I saved the best for last, in my opinion, because I feel like the way they came together with this one was stupid crazy, all right? Like, I just didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, when you think of, Green Day, and that's what this next hat was modeled after. It was, I guess, the guitars from Green Day. I just didn't ever think about the color combinations coming together so into fruition. And with this one, I feel like, you don't really see that color combination go well together, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really used as much. So when I saw this one, I was like, yo, this is the one that I think is going to sell out the first before anyone drops this Saturday. And this is the Green Day Orioles hat. And the reason why I say this, guys, is because, again, I have not seen this like mintish type color before, right? And then on top of that, we've seen the yellow undervisor to that. And I think that, ultimately when you have a hat like this with the 50th anniversary patch, the thing that makes hats so exclusive and makes them, highly sought after is that, them showing you something that you haven't seen before. And I promise you, with this colorway, I have not seen anything like this before. And on top of that, the patch, which is very seldom used in Baltimore Orioles hats. So, again, this is an ultimate sleeper, but, you can't really go wrong with any four of these hats, man. I mean, we're going to, we'll show them off one more time. We got the Detroit Tigers here. Super duper fire. Then again, we got our Minnesota Twins here from the microbrewery, green undervisor. Then also the Cleveland Indians here with the red undervisor. And then finally, like I said, the Baltimore Orioles here. It's modeled after Green Day guitar. Absolutely fire, guys. And like I said, if you are able to, please go check out MyFitteds. Go to the store in White Plains. Go to the store in Patterson. Because I promise you, if you try and get them online, it's not going to work out well for you. Remember, it's not what you know, it's who you know. All right? Now, finally, this one I was so happy to get my hands off. We're going to take it off MyFitteds for a little bit, and we're going to go back to Hat Club here. And, we have the cereal pack that's going to be dropping this weekend. But this past week, there was a huge hysteria for this last drop that just happened. And it was funny because I was on the line at Pro Image, and we were all kind of like looking, because the whole stipulation for the pack was it was called a Daybreakers pack, and they released it for sunrise Pacific time. So for those people on the West Coast, which traditionally a lot of people that like these hats, they had to literally stay up all night or get up real early to try and get these hats. And it just so happened that I was online at Pro Image and, had things work out for me where, I was able to scoop up a bunch of those hats, and the panic was there, man, because I tell you what, Hat Club, what they do really well is market. And when you saw that video campaign of that drop that they just had, it was almost like, I got to get this. I don't care what happens, I got to get it. But, I wasn't able to secure my Mets. Hopefully, going to try and make some trades with some people and see if I can get my hands on it. But one of the hats that I was able to get my hands on, I'm going to review a little bit more of them when they come in next week. But this one was the first one that came in. So I'm going to give you guys a first-hand look of what one of the Daybreaker hat collection looks like. And first and foremost, I think one of the things that we saw with Hat Club is when you have pre-orders with these hats, you know, they tend to have, pins. And what they've started to do now too is, without having, pre-orders, they've been adding certain pins to these big collections. So little did we know that this Daybreaker collection hat came with a pin. And first and foremost, I'll show you. It looks like an alarm clock here, and it has Hat Club 92, which was when they were established right here. So that's an absolute fire pin here, and it goes with the Daybreakers, because remember, you're supposed to be breaking the day, and you're like waking up like, oh shit, I'm just waking up. But, it's a dope concept, and I like how they did the pins here with that. So, I was hyped to get my hands on that. If I'm able to get my Mets hat, I'm going to be putting on that for sure. But the one that I was able to secure, a lot of people were sleeping on this hat because, again, when we talk about hats and, when they drop, it's always a matter of like, what logo are they going to use and how are they going to try and make something different that we haven't seen before. And guys, this hat right here, this is from the blue. I think they did 3 different versions of this Daybreaker hat. And this one right here is the Tampa Bay Rays. And I think, especially for it being a Daybreakers type collection, I think a lot of people slept on this hat just for the simple fact, look at that sun ray right here. And then on the side, you have the 20 seasons patch here, which has the ray as well. But the best thing about this hat, which makes it come together, look at that under visor, guys. Look at that yellow. It literally makes the hat pop. And, I wasn't a too fan of the orange, part of that collection. But this one right here, this heater, guys, is absolutely fuego, man. So, like I said, Hat Club is definitely putting some dope stuff out there. And I think that, one thing that, again, that we can all take from some of the stuff that they're doing is just, if you have your own brand, just trying to get creative with the different things that you're doing. And, whether it be videos, I had a free raffle that I did for Catmaster B, which actually wound up being pretty dope. So, there's various different ways to market and put yourself out there, whether you're in a podcast world like me or whether you're making hats like these guys. Just try and stay creative and, push the boundaries a little bit, man. But, talking about that, I think it's huge to then, have me segue into, just entering this new year as, 31 years of age now on Sunday. And, again, when I talk about it, self-reflecting back, like I got to start, way back to the beginning. Like when I first, turned 30 years old, I was, really, I wouldn't say apprehensive, but, it's kind of like one of those things where, you turn 30 and you're like, damn, like, what's going on in my life? Like, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right things that I need to do to achieve the things that I want? And, losing my job was, definitely something that, kind of put some urgency behind myself. And, it was something that I never thought that, with a college degree again, that, I would have lost my job in a place that I'd given so much to. And to see, you just cast away like, you're like a used tissue or something. It was pretty fucking terrible, man. But at the end of the day, I'm blessed that happened because pretty much what that did was it really just gave me a sense of urgency for self-investment. And really, that's why I'm so proud of myself over these past couple times, whether it been the past couple months or, when I first turned 30 was, just trying to stay active and stay ready and keep building and, trying to not take no for an answer. And, I've definitely prided myself, more so on that after, what happened. And, like I said, in a time where, I was turning 30 in the summertime and, most times you'd be hyped, summer vacation or whatever if you work in the schools. But really, it was like almost a sense of uncertainty because I was like, well, shit, man, I don't know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to get this money. And, it was a very real, situation. But I think that, part of the things, from grinding and from making this show happen and, all the different ventures that I've now created, really it kind of proved to myself that, without a quote unquote, job title, I guess you can say, you don't know what exactly that you can do. And, through these different endeavors, I had a situation where my car was fucked up and, it was beyond the point of, I guess you could say, safety. My boy Jeff was like, yo, you got to get rid of this car, man. And, lo and behold, I just, got a new car. It wasn't a new car, but it was a new car for me. And I was pretty hype about that because a lot of times before in the past, I've gotten a bunch of cars, just to get from point A to point B. But to get a car that I can be proud to ride in and have my friends in, that was something that I, in my opinion, never felt. And I was just so happy to wasn't taking no loans from nobody, no car payments. I paid for that shit straight cash, homie, Randy Moss, off of all the different endeavors that I've done. And to say that we've kicked it up a notch as far as with the cat business, as far as the talk show business, I damn near almost made that money back within a couple months. So again, if I hadn't lost my job, at the beginning when I just turned 30, I just don't think I would have had that same grind or that same aspect, not to get it, but to get it from just myself, from within. And I think that, when you get things, just from all the self-investment that you put in and all the grind, all the sleepless nights, all the, the uncertainty, it just makes it that much more rewarding, when you live life and you live life such, fully. And, for me, again, part of the thing and part of the reason why I continue to talk back as to why, losing that job was so important and so big to me, because a lot of the time that I spent was given to this place that in essence didn't give a fuck about me, right? So it's like when you're investing all this time towards someone else and building their brand, it can be wiping and it can be tiring. And I think that, in essence, I wasn't truly living my life to the optimal enjoyment that I could, because I felt like, you go to work, you come home, you sleep, do the same thing over again. And, you don't really try to schedule that time or make your own happiness a priority because you're just trying to get through the fucking day, So I think that when all that flew out the window, and then I was starting to, again, build these resources throughout, this time of being here, it kind of also enabled within me and showed myself that, you can enjoy yourself too, bro. And I've seen myself going out to golf a lot more. I've seen myself taking some trips to Atlantic City, having some fun. I've seen myself go to different places, bowling anywhere that I want to, doing the things that I want to do. And especially at this age in 31, where, a lot of the time, again, is spent grinding and trying to get out of it and get to that place that you want to go. Over this past year from being 30, it's been a super important part of my priority to enjoy myself and to make sure that I am enjoying myself. Because, when you are living a life where you're having fun and you're feeling fulfilled, that is what makes you go out and try to be productive. That's what's able to make you stay motivated so that when you get through that grind, you still have that enjoyment that you can have. And, that's what I continuously try to work towards. And like I said, it's been, a lot of hard work, and it's been a lot of hard work that has been justified. And, to have different people come up to me saying that they're rocking my shirts, to have people, talking about how, they're referring people to the website, and it becomes, this culture thing to where, everything that I've built is culminating to continue to build and to get bigger. And when other people recognize that, it's just so humbling. And at the same time, it's so, it just makes me more insatiably hungry to get more, And again, from being 30 and having all these different life-altering events that happen, I feel that, throughout this whole year, it's just been a huge self-advancement for myself. And I just want to thank every single person, whether you've given me a text, whether you sent me a call, whether you've done anything to, positively affect my life. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because, people don't understand just how hard it can be to get through the day. But when you have people on your side, and that, people will support you, and that your core values are, they're hard and they're firm, and they're in the right direction, then there's no telling what you can do. And part of the things that I wanted to talk about as well too is that it's very important to me, as far as, setting goals, and not only setting, attainable goals, but also unreachable goals as well too, because, you have to have something that you strive for. And, for me, especially with this podcast, and especially with some of the last drops, I just really wanted to put myself out there and give you guys 100% of myself, and to really build on that self-investment. And, we saw that I had, huge success on the flip tanks. So thank you so much if you supported on those flip tanks. I still have a couple more. So if you would like some, please reach out to me on DM at _talk_that_talk_show, or send me a message on my personal Instagram _Barry Buckets. But, there are definitely some shirts there. But again, I saw something that I really wanted to do and take a step or a leap of faith with, and, saw that there was some returns for that. And, moving forward along those same lines, I want to continue to put out hot shit that you guys are all so happy to support and to wear. And I'm constantly getting pictures from people and posting them to the gram. And, like I said, I live for that, man, to wake up. And sometimes when I'm down a little bit and I'm like, man, life's kicking my ass right now. There's times where I look at that Instagram page and I just scroll through all the different people and all the different, versions of the OGs that, people support with me. And that shit is genuine. I'm not paying nobody to rock my shirts. They always talk about, oh, you need to pay celebrities to rock. I'm not doing that shit. This show is all about organic feelings, organic marketing, just everything authentic. And that's truly what I pride myself on. And that's why it's so important to me to be able to rock this shirt and be like, yo, I made this, man. I took a chance with this and I came out, and the way this came out is absolutely fire, one of one. But, this tank was made just for me to match something that I'm about to release, guys. And we're only doing pre-orders with this. I think this is something that's so special and something that I've never done before in Talk That Talk Show history. So, we're doing a pre-order for this, and I promise you guys, if you don't have that money right, this will not be getting re-released. So, I know that a lot of times people say, oh, he'll have some shirts left. No, when this goes, and I promise you guys, when this pre-order comes in, you are going to be absolutely sick if you don't get your hands on this. Guys, this is their first-hand look of the Talk That Talk Show shorts, all right? We got the logo on the left, I guess you say left sleeve of, where you put your legs in. And then also we got the pockets here, the print on the back as well too. It's the same theme as far as with the tropical for the beach. Guys, I've put these shorts on. They're absolutely fantastic. So if you want to get your hands on those, please DM me, because we will be opening up the pre-orders for those shorts, man. And guys, like I said, I'm constantly trying to try different things. I wanted to have something different for the for my birthday to release that I haven't done before. So guys, we're gonna be pre-ordering those shorts. So if you'd like to, reach out to me. I'll give you the information as far as how you can do your pre-ordering as well too. And guys, still have flip tanks, and we have some of these as well too. So, everything is possible, and I wouldn't be here again if it wasn't for Tim as well too. Shout out to Tim. I'll give the sponsors a shout out at the end of the show, but Tim really works hard, and he's very patient with me, and I can be very demanding. But I appreciate him so much for everything that he does, and he's really helped me to put my things into fruition. And that's something that I truly am thankful that I have him as a connection for. And one thing, this show started out on sports, so I can't have a show without talking about a little bit of sports. And ultimately it might be a sports thing, but this is a thing that's important to everybody, and I really want to talk about it. Now, before, we had a situation where Richard Sherman, he got arrested, said he was belligerently drunk, said he was threatening to kill himself, trying to break into the in-laws. And when the story first broke, one of the first things that my dad had said is that, Richard Sherman doesn't look like the type of guy that would happen to. And he's like, he's a very smart guy. I just, wouldn't believe that happened. And that's what's so important about what Naomi Osaka said just a couple weeks ago, because she said that she wanted to step away to prioritize her mental health. And here you have a situation where Richard Sherman's mental health is extremely in question, because I'm not going to get into what he said and what he did and all that other stuff. You can do that research yourself. The whole point that I'm trying to bring here is that, whether you're Richard Sherman, whether you're Joe Snow from down the block, whether you're Barry Holmes on the podcast, you never know what's going on in someone's life. And, you don't know what type of demons they may carry or what skeletons are in their closet. Someone from the surface could look just as fine to you, but they could be dealing with some huge, heavy struggles, man. And, that's why I say it's so important, I've said it before, to prioritize your mental health. If you don't feel okay, go find someone to talk to. Go get some professional help, because, the one thing that you can't really lose is your mind, because if you lose your mind, there's nothing else you can do, man. And, your mind is literally the circuit to everything else that goes within your body, man. So, guys, make sure you're prioritizing your mental health. I hope Richard Sherman gets the help that he needs, because 100%, I would hate to see something happen to Richard Sherman, but I would hate to see, him miss out on opportunities, not just to play football, but to live a full life again, just off of some mistake. But, what that has, shown is that this man needs some sort of help, and again, never judge a book by a cover. And then on the opposite end as well, too, if you're someone that sees that one of your friends, and that's why it's so important also to have the right people around you, because some people can yes you to death and, do whatever you want them to do, but it takes real friends to be able to make those conversations happen to where change can happen. And if you see something with your friends that's just not right, make sure you say something to them. Make sure you can be that bridge between, their feelings and, that person that can help them. And who knows, if Richard Sherman maybe had someone out there telling him, it's okay, man, come talk to me. What's going on with you? Is everything okay? Then maybe we wouldn't have had this big headline. So, guys, if you see something's going on with one of your friends, family members, just say something, man. If you see something, say something. I know the subway or the MTA says that, but, it applies here too, because, again, mental health is so important, because, I feel like it's so oftentimes not prioritized. And I just talked to you before about how I didn't even prioritize my own happiness as far as doing the things that I wanted to do. And that pertains direct hand in hand with your mental health. So, guys, please prioritize your mental health. If you need help, if you need someone to talk to, just reach out. If you need to talk, hit me up. I'll listen to you, man, because at the end of the day, I'd rather you hit me up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night and, be able to talk and help you out than have to, have something happen to you. And now that's on me, because I didn't help you when I had the chance to. So, guys, again, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. And, if you need, anybody else to talk to, look to those people that are important to you in your life as well, too, because you never know who can help you out, and you just have to be receptive to that help. And that's something that I learned a little bit before I turned 30, was a lot of times I wasn't as receptive to the help, man, and, you can really hurt yourself from that. So, big ups to, Richard Sherman. I hope everything's okay. I hope you, get better, and I hope that mental health is prioritized amongst my viewers, man, because, guys, you got to have a sound mind, and that's what I'm so blessed that I'm able to have each and every day when I wake up. But also, I want to give a big talk here before I hop off the air about Game 5, man. Yo, shout out to my boy Pete Pignatello. I used to work with him over in Newark at Dr. Yama Flag, and he told me one thing. He said this: the home team is going to win every game of this series. That's what it's looking like, Barry. And I didn't believe him at first. I'm like, this guy's crazy, But what we've seen is the Milwaukee Bucks have vaulted themselves back into this series. We're talking about a Game 5, which has all of the makings of an important game. For me, this looks like this is a must-win game for the Suns, man, because if the Suns do not win this game on their home court, they're going to have to go to Milwaukee. I mean, Milwaukee looks damn near unstoppable in that building, man. I mean, Giannis seems like he turns Super Saiyan when he gets in Milwaukee. So, when you have a guy that's that confident in his home place, you need to be just as confident defending home court. And I feel like, the Suns, and this was one of the things that was asked, is like, well, what team can win on the road? do you think? I think the first team to get that road win is going to win this series. And, I think personally that the Suns have a better chance of doing that. But, what they've showed me, it doesn't have much to back up from that statement. But I'll tell you this, when it comes down to it, I've seen what Giannis has done. But at the same time, I just don't see that he has that much in that offensive repertoire that will really propel them in a clutch situation. Sure, anybody can make those shots, and you can play defense and, make defensive stops at key moments. But, if it comes down to it and it's, game time, game on the line, game 7, last shot, I would trust a Chris Paul to make a decision that's smart and to create for someone else. I would trust Devin Booker to make a shot and go off the dribble and make that on his own. I would trust Jay Crowder or Mikal Bridges to make a shot when given to them in that shooting motion that Chris Paul has done so well. So when I look at it from the other end of the spectrum, I don't trust Jrue Holiday to get me the last shot. I mean, Chris Middleton has been clutch. I'll give you Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton, he's been clutch down the stretch. I would be worried if I was anybody defending him. But I'm not worried about Giannis. I may be worried about him catching an offensive rebound for sure. Or I'm not really worried about P.J. Tucker being the last guy to beat me to win the final. So when you look at those difference makers, those change makers in clutch moments, I feel like I got to go with the Suns. I feel like the Suns can really steal one in Milwaukee if they have the chance. But, Giannis is playing really well in Milwaukee, but I just don't see Milwaukee going into Phoenix and really beating them, man. And, like I said, it's going to be a tough series. I've been really excited with each time that they've played because each game has went down to the wire, it seems like, except for that one blowout Milwaukee had, I think, in that Game 3, because they came out in desperation mode. And, it's going to be interesting to see. But if I was a betting person, I would bet on the Suns to win this series. And you should listen to me because if you listened last episode, I tried to give you all the advice about Pete Alonso. And, people are going to talk about the 60 home runs that he hit. People are going to talk about how Shohei Ohtani didn't make it out of the first round. But what I'll say is, I'm super happy that my boy Pete Alonso won the home run derby. Not because I won a $120 bet from betting on him, but the reason why I say this is because that home run derby was so exciting is that is what was needed for baseball. Guys, you have someone in Mike Trout who's one of the biggest baseball players that we have, and there's people that still doesn't even know what he looks like. You have people in Shohei Ohtani who's doing amazing things, and he's like the closest reincarnation of Babe Ruth that we have, but nobody, there's still a vast majority of people that don't even know who he is. And I think that, with the way that they've kind of revamped the home run derby and the way that they've kind of made it in this bracket format and, with the extra time, it's really brought back the excitement to the home run derby in the way that we thought that the slam dunk contest would get altered. And I think that, again, Pete Alonso winning that home run derby was big for baseball because now you're adding notoriety and you're adding popularity and character to a lot of these, in a way, to some people, faceless players, look at the All-Star game. You got a lot of small market guys that are in that All-Star game that you don't even know that they've had great seasons, right? And it's not our fault. It's just the way baseball is built. It's not built to make these highlight players. You're not having those Ken Griffey Jr. type players that transcend the game, right? We just have guys within baseball, it seems. Guys like LeBron James or, Tom Brady that are their respective guys for that sport. They have transcended the sport. And in recent history, I can't tell you really one guy, maybe a Jacob deGrom right now, but, I haven't really seen somebody in that generation or in these past 10, 15 years that have really transcended the game of baseball. And I think that, from this home run derby, if anything that's gotten from this is that, these baseball players have some sort of character. I mean, Pete Alonso was, doing the home run derby to Mobb Deep. If that's not hard, I don't know what is, man. And, I think that, from people that watch that home run derby, you're going to have a lot more people either turning in to watch those baseball games or doing their research to find out who the hell is Pete Alonso or who the hell Shohei Ohtani is. And that's all baseball needs, man. They just need a little bit of notoriety to try and get them back to competing with, the NBA and the NFLs of the world, man. But, guys, I tell you what, it's been, a great road. I've been so, again, humbled to have all the different people here supporting with this show. And, I talked a little bit before in the show about, just how important it is to try and, trust yourself and trust the things that you want to do. And that also, again, stems from the people that you have around you and want to spend your time with. And I was so happy to be able to go on a little golfing outing with, my dad, my boy Admiral, and his friend. And one of the things that kind of took from that was when we first stepped on the first tee, for those people that don't know about golf, you have the blue tees, which are the furthest back, and you have the white tees, which are a little bit, for like intermediate, and then you have the ladies tees, which are the furthest up. And, Admiral goes straight, for the back blue tees, and, you have my dad at the beginning. He's like, oh, well, I'm not that good, so I'll let these young guys do the blue tees. And, you have this other guy who's my dad's friend. He's telling us this long story about how, they have certain tee requirements per your handicap, and we should be playing at the white tees. I was like, man, fuck that. I'm doing the blue tees. I ain't come here to lay up. And what we saw from that is that, from playing with the blue tees, it's, again, embodying that whole persona that I've, kind of embodied, in that you have to challenge yourself. Sure, I might not be in championship mode as a golfer, but at the same time, I'm not going to short myself of an experience or challenging myself to prove to myself what I can and can't do. And what I saw from my dad is that he shoots a 99, and he was the biggest one that was apprehensive at the beginning of shooting at the blue tees, you know what I'm saying? And it's one thing to, kind of know what you can do and to stay within that, but it's another thing to try and challenge yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't know what you can and can't do, man. And, one of that kind of took from me is that I was like, fuck, man, let me see if I can do some big things at this bowling tournament tomorrow. I'm on a birthday weekend, went to Atlantic City, had a great golf trip, have, party that I'm going to be having. But I still decided that I wanted to get up tomorrow, drive an hour away, to try and challenge myself as a bowler. And that's, to me, is like the epitome of, again, making this rotation around the world one time more, is that, at 31, or when I'll be 31 on Sunday, I just want to continue to challenge myself and do things that improve to myself, things that I didn't know I could do, man. And I didn't think that this hat business that I've had would be booming as well as it has. I didn't think that this talk show would be at 114 episodes at this time. I wouldn't think that I had sold, over 500 different shirts to people over these past year and a half. I didn't think I could do all the shit that I've done. But at the same time, I gave myself that opportunity to do that shit, And at the end of the day, you never know what you can and can't do until you go out there and do it, man. And, as long as I'm living and breathing, I'm going to continue to try and challenge myself. I'm going to continue to try and, work on myself and be the best version of myself. And, also, again, we had somebody on the show before that said, Zishan, I think, that talked about helping people. I think that I'm one of those people that tries to be as open as possible so that I can share whatever knowledge I have, whatever good vibes that I have, positivity, because you never know when someone else is going to need that as well, too. So, coming into this 31st year, I want to continue to build from what I've, started to build a foundation on. I want to keep improving, keep setting some great goals to achieve. I want to be the most, challenged person that I can be, man. I want to wake up with days where it's like, damn, man, like I got all this to do. I try to fit as much as I can into those 24-hour days, because at the end of the day, you never know which one's going to be your last. And I just hope that on that day when it is my last, I live the most fullest, life that I can. And that's what this is all about, man. Continuing to do the shit that you want to do, continuing to stay true to who you are as a person, continuing to self-improve, and just go out there and get it, man. And that's what I'm going to do, at 30. That's what I'm going to do here in this new year at 31 years old. And, there's much upside with me, guys. So continue to keep, rocking with me here on the Talk That Talk show. And I'm going to keep giving you guys the best high-quality podcast that you can count on every week, right? And one of the things that we're so accustomed to doing, you know what time it is. It's time for the drink review. And that drink review comes from another one. It's going to be a Truly. I think I did Tropical the last week. I can't remember. It all blends together when you've done 114 episodes, right? But this one that I'm going to be trying here is called the Berry Punch. We got, let me check how much alcohol. 5% alcohol. Again, it's that seltzer life, guys. It's been that hard seltzer life that's been getting me through, not feeling full and, trying to enjoy yourself when you drink. And, I think that, Truly's been something that I've kind of leaned a little bit more towards because they've given me a little bit more delicious options, right? And this Berry Punch, I've had it on the beach before, but hey, let's have it here on the show. That's good, man. So yeah, once again, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, my boy Joe Snow and Maria over at New York Life, helping people to get their financial freedom every single day. Want to give a huge shout out, big time shout out to my boy Timmy Hugel over at Ink Parlor. He's been helping me out to create all these big time, ventures. We got the shorts pre-order that I just debuted for the first time on the live today. If you want to reserve one of these, please message me as soon as possible. I will only be holding these pre-orders till next week, right? So once next Friday hits, if you have not messaged me about a pre-order for these, you will not get a pair of these exclusive shorts. We want to get these made and out by the end of the summer, all right? So guys, don't miss out on these shorts. I'm going to be rocking them tonight. But yeah, that's going to be the pre-order. Tim has helped me out with those. He actually helped me make these as well, too. If there's enough people asking me about these, maybe I'll put them into production. But the main thing is, like I said, if you see something, say something. If you like it, holla at me and I'll get them to you, right? And then also want to give a shout out to my boy Savion Gaynor over at Skydive Socks. Me and him have been doing a lot of big things as far as the hat game. And, he's been a great positive influence and a good friend. And, I appreciate him. And hopefully we'll see him at the party on Saturday. Jeff, what you think? Give me the Vegas odds on whether he comes to the party, Jeff. Put it in the chat. And then also, finally, want to give a big time shout out to my boy Jeff Galata over at, my boy is doing some big things over at Air We Are, guys. Let me tell you. He's been helping a lot of these businesses. He's been helping a lot of the people within the houses when shit's been getting really hot. You've seen me here on episodes where I've been sweating bullets, but guys, if you need some help, Jeff Galata is the guy that you want to hit up over at Air We Are. And that about does it for this episode of Talk That Talk Show. This is the last time you will see me as a 30-year-old human being. I will be turning 31 at midnight tomorrow.
Talk that talk. Goodbye, 30. Hello, 31.
And, everybody that's going to be coming to the party tomorrow, make sure you bring your drinking pants. Make sure you bring a full belly. My mom is going to make sure everybody is well fed as I think Reese is already getting his plate ready, right? Oh, Jeff said minus 400. I got faith in the bro. Wow. So that's a strong favorite, man. That's a strong favorite. Minus 400 odds on Say coming to the party. I'll have to update you guys next week to see, if he covered the spread or not. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this show. This is the Talk That Talk Show.
Talk that talk.
Every single Friday, you know what time it is. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to come with the heat, and next week you'll have 115 from me. But, once again, thank you so much for everybody that supported me and, got me to this point of, 114 episodes. has been an influential part in getting me to where you want. I want to thank you so much, because at the end of the day, you have some people that live lives that nobody cares about them. And I feel like I have a very full life, and I have people around me that care about me and want me around and want to do nice things for me. And you can't underestimate that, man. And I feel like, when you have that around you, it makes you very strong and keeps me very motivated. And sometimes, even now, it's hard for me to put into words, but if you're one of those people out here that continues to tune in, download, believe in me, it's been a positive influence. You are the reason why I can stand here proud, 10 toes down on the floor, and put my chest out high, because there's not a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing here, and nobody's doing it as well as I am in this podcast game. I appreciate that, and I believe that. And you can't go somewhere and make a brand and start something from scratch and not believe that you're the best at it. So I'm here to tell you guys right now, this podcast game, I got it, and just keep rocking out with me, keep staying and believing in me, and I promise you I won't let you down. Love you guys so much. This is the Talk That Talk Show.